Hello, this is Todd Luck, and this is a review of Conan Serpent War from Marvel Comics. This is a 4-issue series that just wrapped up, and so as you can see on the cover, it brings together Conan, Solomon Kane, Dark Agnes, and for some reason Moon Knight, and also James Allison, another Robert E. Howard character, is also in here. And just to give you a quick take, I didn't care for this one at all. I was bored. I was thoroughly miserable while reading it. But I will say there is a twist at the end, and it is probably the happiest I've been with a twist in a very, very long time. It gave me a few seconds of joy that were quite rapturous. I will tell you my review. I will tell you why I was thoroughly miserable with this miniseries. And when I get to the end, I will give you guys a spoiler alert, and then I will reveal the big twist. All right, so let's get started. And we start with the covers. And, if a comic is lacking in one area, oftentimes it'll make up for it in others. So on the covers, I mean, they're decent. They definitely get the job done. But there's nothing here that I would necessarily just go out of my way to buy so I can have this on my shelf. But most of them are decent. They do get the job done. I might haggle with that a little bit on this final cover because Solomon Kane, for some reason, looks more like Sherlock Holmes than Solomon Kane, but what are you going to do? On the artwork, it starts out like this, and it's somewhere between good and decent, depending on, what he's drawing. But then, for some reason that makes no sense with this series, they switch artists every issue, and it doesn't make any sense. It's telling the same continuous story, so why would I get a separate artist for each issue unless they're just trying to shorten the production on the issue and get it made really quickly and push it out the door, which is exactly what it feels like. And so you get diminishing returns each issue on the artwork until you get this on the final issue. Yeah, not only is this inconsistent, but it just doesn't look like artwork that should be on a Conan comic. It just isn't in keeping with what fantasy artwork should look like. So I don't know what they were thinking. They do have a separate artist for the James Allison sequences, and it's quite good. It's very beautiful, but unfortunately, it's only a few pages an issue, and for $4 to $5 a pop, I really can't recommend like going out and buying a miniseries just for a few pages here and there per issue. There is a really good Solomon Kane prose story in the back, but that's 2.5 to 3 pages of text per issue. Again, for $4 to $5 a pop, it's hard for me to recommend picking up a comic for 2.5 pages of prose in the back. But if you do, the Solomon Kane story in the back is really cool. I love Solomon Kane, so it was good to actually get something decent with that character. And the storytelling is just bad. So you see these cultists? Don't they look human? Well, in the next issue, it actually says they had scales. No scales here. Oops. And then in the 3rd issue, we get creatures who look like this. Now, we don't know what this thing is. And I think that's not a particularly good thing for a writer to do. I think we needed to know if there are inhuman creatures, give us an idea of what they are. The only thing it says is that they are blessed with scales by Set. There is some sequences where people get serpent eyes at various points from Set. So my assumption is going to be that this is a follower of Set that is turned into this creature. It looks like a goblin to me. I don't know why Set is turning his followers into goblins. I don't know what advantage that would give to his followers. It's like, oh, Set, you are so powerful and mighty. Please turn me into something so ugly I can't go out in public. Why would Set do this? The only other possibility is that they are serpent men, but again, it doesn't indicate that in the story. And, that is actually consistent with how they looked in the Dark Horse comics, but the Dark Horse comics took liberties on the Serpent Men, and that was one of my only gripes with the Cole comics from Dark Horse. Is otherwise a fantastic series. I highly recommend Cole from Dark Horse, but it did take a lot of liberties with how Serpent Men look. Serpent Men, as you might guess, have actual serpents for heads. Now, in my previous review, I actually did say that they had the body of a human, and that is actually true the way Robert E. Howard described them and how they appeared in their initial appearance in Marvel Comics, but later appearances did actually have them with the green skin, but they've always had serpent heads. So I'm hoping that whatever those creatures are that appear in issue 3 are not supposed to be serpent men, that we're not like redoing serpent men so they look like goblins. I hope, when we really get them, and I hope we're really going to get them someday, that they're going to look like this. They may have human bodies, they may have scaly bodies, but they need to have serpent heads. And so, nonsensical story, boring fights, set goblins, and all that aside, let's talk about the ending. Let's talk about the big twist that actually did get me excited. And so we're going into spoilers. Please stop the video if you do not want it spoiled. So I called what it was in my initial review. You can go back and look. But the thing that caught me by surprise is Marvel kept it completely under wraps. And so I did not see it anywhere on the internet. I actually did a search the day before it came out. There was no hint of it. And so I'm reading the issue. I've gotten past the final battle. All the heroes have been sent home. I am bored. I am miserable. I turn to the next to last page, and it reads, Volusia, the Thurian Age. And I got my Cole back at Marvel. Oh my God. I was so ecstatic when I read this. I am a Cole fan. I love the old Marvel Cole comics. I love the Dark Horse Cole too, but I just want me some good Cole comics. So I was so happy that I actually jumped up and I was like, yeah, at the top of my lungs. And it took me a few minutes to gain my composure. But once I did, I read the sequence and it still sucked. The story is still not good. The artwork is probably the ugliest rendering I have ever seen of Cole, ever. Normally, I'm the sort of guy that's like, oh, if you establish it, you need to do that story. But this is my one exception. If they decide to do Cole and not do this story, no hard feelings. I don't mind if they completely ignore this ending. Just give me some good Cole comics. Don't give me this crap that I just experienced. You can do better than this, Marvel. You normally do better than this. I don't know what happened here, but give me good Cole comics. I am super, super looking forward to seeing more Cole from Marvel. Give me a miniseries. Give me an ongoing series is probably asking too much, but just give me something. Give me Solomon Kane. Give me Cole. Dark Agnes has been solicited as a miniseries that's coming out soon. So I've ordered that. Definitely going to read that. Definitely looking forward to that. It's from a completely different creative team that did Serpent War. So the only reason I got Serpent War was to support the characters, to tell Marvel that, yes, I want Solomon Kane, I want Dark Agnes, I want James Allison, yeah, I want Cole, even though I didn't even know he was in there until the ending. And I will give Marvel credit that they kept it under wraps and it was a complete surprise. And I am super, super shocked to see that it's not on the internet. I thought that it would be all over the place. I thought I wouldn't be able to go anywhere without getting it spoiled. And I can't even find it while searching. I'm sure someone has read this issue and someone on the internet somewhere has posted about this, but I haven't been able to find it. And it does sort of make me wonder how many people actually read that last issue. There's a huge pile of the first issue at my comic shop. I didn't really check to see how much they ordered the others, but it was definitely over ordered, and my impression is probably to get like the variants for people. And I sort of wonder, I know that there used to be complaints in the 90s that collectors would buy the issues and not read them, and I sort of wonder if that's happening with some of these comics, but who knows. It's probably just a case of there weren't that many readers, and so the amount of people that are posting about it just probably isn't that high, or at least on Facebook where I searched, or I don't know. Would Google pick up like a random post on a board somewhere or something? I don't know, but I just couldn't find any reference to Cole returning to Marvel online. But now you know, it is spoiled, and I am looking forward to it. I just unfortunately cannot recommend Serpent War unless, again, if you want to support those characters, you want to put your money where your mouth is and tell Marvel, like, hey, I want more stuff with these characters, go ahead and get it. Otherwise, I just can't recommend it at all. All right, guys, so that is my thought on Conan the Serpent War. Tell me what you guys think, if you've read it. Tell me how many of you have actually read this damn thing. Am I the only one? Am I the only one in the country who read that? Please let me know. And tell me what you think about Cole returning to Marvel and Solomon Kane and Dark Agnes. And God, give me James Allison. I'll take some James Allison too. But anyway, got more reviews coming. American Mythology, Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff, the John Carter miniseries should be shipping, I believe, next week, unless they've been delayed again. So I'll have a couple reviews. Maybe I don't know if I'll do one video for both of those issues. They're both supposed to ship on the same day, so that'll be interesting. But anyway, like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time, beware set goblins. See ya.